Welcome everyone. I'm Lynette from Startbug. We're here to help people starting out on the path of their own business turn their ideas into practical plans. Today we're sharing tips that can change the way you think about your first year business plan, helping you to set realistic and actionable goals. If you've got a big idea and you don't know where to start, this is for you. Why realistic goals really matter when you're starting out. They help you avoid becoming overwhelmed. They help you stay motivated and on track, helps you manage risks in advance, and helps you build momentum as you're going because you can see how you're performing against your targets. When it comes to planning, your first year is all about learning and proving your idea and your concept, not creating the perfect plan. And people can get stuck in trying to create that perfect plan, and it means they never start at all. Being honest about your income potential reduces overwhelm, but it also helps you get motivated. Because when you go out on your own and you operate your own business, your income potential is unlimited. But you still need to prove yourself and have a realistic goal when you first start. Your first 5 questions should focus on these areas. What are my income targets? But not just one income target. Really write down what is your minimum target? What do you believe is achievable? And what is a stretch target? It may sound obvious, but a lot of people start with their stretch target. If you look at what's achievable, it's going to keep you motivated. It'll also encourage you to meet that stretch target. But it's also good to identify a minimum. And a minimum really should be what you can survive on, so you can really understand if your goals are working or not for you. That doesn't necessarily mean that your business or your idea to go out on your own isn't working. It may just mean that if you're tracking towards the minimum, you may have to find other ways to bring in income to support you. For example, it might be as simple as not leaving your day job that you have already. It's also really important to know what your service offer is. Now, this sounds really obvious, but you can't really answer the questions around income or really do some income modeling properly unless you know what your service offer is. This is not just about how much you will charge. Park that for a moment. Really think about what is it that I'm selling? What are the service streams that I'm selling? What is the expertise that I'm selling? Are there products that I want to sell? This will be the basis for how you work out your income potential. Who are your customers or who are your clients? Who are you targeting? And how many of them do you want? We just spoke about that a moment before. Are you able to work with a lot of clients all at once? So you may have an income that you want to achieve, but it may require you having to work with 5 clients all at once. Is that sustainable? Does that work? These are the things that you need to think of in your business plan. The other thing is not over-investing at the start. So how much investment do you really need? The concept of minimal viable product applies here. Do you just need a computer and a space to work? Or do you need to invest in software? Do you need to invest in an office space? Do you need additional resources to start with? Do you need to talk to affiliates before you even start? The main thing is not to invest too much too early. As we said, your first year plan is really about testing what you need and then building from there. And what's equally really important, and this very much depends on your own personal goals, is what balance do you want between work and life? If your plan is to have more time, you need to build a business and a plan that allows you to have more time. If you go after targets that essentially mean that you've got to use more and more of your own time and resources to achieve your goals, you're not going to get the balance that you like. Or your plan may be the total opposite. You want to go hard, very hard in your first year, and you want to build something and you really want to scale as early as possible. All of this is fine, but these are the questions that you need to ask yourself. In my first year of business, planning for how Arrive Collaborative would develop, I found myself sometimes overwhelmed by trying to work out exactly how much income I wanted to make and how I could make that income. The tip that I would give you is to really think about what sort of clients you have and what services you're selling. Also think about the value that you bring, not having as much overheads as some other competitors in the marketplace. And testing your numbers is important. Even if you put up a number that is your ideal, that's okay. Test it. Test it against what your offer is and the types of clients that you're trying to attract. If you had one client and they were going to pay you $20,000 for a project, that's $20,000 of income. Once you start modeling income scenarios like this, it makes you understand what you're chasing, but it also gives you some kind of realistic target around what's possible. If you, for example, had to run 100 sessions a week as one individual, you would not be able to achieve that. You can put any number in and start modeling backwards. Modeling backwards is a great way to do a business plan. It may even help you come up with new service offers to close those income gaps. Your first year business plan should really be about challenging your how, not your what. What you want to achieve, that can be hard to identify. But challenging your how keeps you targeted and focused. It takes time to build a business. You may get your first client immediately. You may have to wait for a while. And this is where risk management comes into play. So next we're going to talk about some very simple tips on how to manage your risks to stay in the game, especially if you think you're not moving as fast as you would want to. There are 4 simple tips for managing risks when you go out on your own. The first one is to test first and scale later. So that means don't put all your eggs in one basket to start with. Don't overinvest in what you're doing or assume things about your client base. When I first started my own business, I had mentors that would tell me, your business will look quite different from your vision and it will start to evolve based on the types of clients that you start working with or the opportunities you find out about along the way. And that is so true. Limiting overheads is a great way to start because it means when you get income in, you're getting the maximum return that you can. But also can be a competitive advantage if you're an independent consultant or going out on your own to start a new business. Take a flexible approach to any commitments that you would have, especially when it comes to ongoing costs. Fixed costs can be a killer for businesses when they first start out. So where there's options to be flexible around your arrangements, think about taking those up, even if it is a little bit more expensive. Good examples are software subscription, where you can opt out rather than commit. Maybe affiliate model is a lot better than actually employing staff, depending on what your offer is. Stay flexible in your commitments, and that will help you scale up or scale down as you need, because scaling down can be as important as scaling up when you first start. Early in my career, I got to work with a company that managed a lot of franchisees and franchise agreements. And one of the things that I learned was knowing your out clause was really important on both sides. It's also important if you're an independent business owner. What is your out clause? And by out clause, I mean, what is it? What milestone will you hit, or what event will occur that makes you think, this is my out clause. I can't keep doing what I'm doing the same way and expect things to change. And what is your backup plan? Just know your out clause. It could be if you're not making a certain amount of income. It could be when it's getting too stressful for you, if you're having to work long hours to achieve what you want to do. There's so many different out clauses. It could be that you're committed to work that you're not enjoying doing. So how do you bring all of this together? There's no perfect business plan format. There's some great business plan formats. We've got a really good business planning guide at Startbug that you can download from our site. You can also go online and find lots of different business planning guides. The reality is, it's how you want to set it up and how it makes sense to you. As long as you cover those 5 questions, you will have good guidance. But any great plan is really going to be very clear with what your goals are, what your actions are, and any risks that you identify and try to manage up front. It's a great way of thinking about your business plan. What do I want to achieve? How am I going to achieve it? And how am I going to manage things if they're manage risks that might divert me from the direction or the vision that I have? A great plan is not just one piece of paper that sits there. It's something that grows with you. It's something that evolves and flexes. But in year 1, the more simple it is, and again with goals, not having too many goals, weekly or monthly, so there is some momentum, is really important to have. So keep it real, keep it simple, and keep it focused on what you want to do. But thank you so much for joining this session. You can download, we do have guides at Startbug. I mean, there's one on business planning, if that's of interest to you. And if you'd like more tips like this, follow Startbug or join our next session. If you feel like you do need some coaching or some mentoring, I'm available, and Jessica is available from Startbug, and would happily take an hour session with you to talk about your goals, help you set direction in your first year of business. Thank you so much, and see you next time.